most interesting journeys are a side quest.
Oh shit, my music stopped. Hold on. That song's hold on. All right, we're back. All right, as always, we start the top of the show with our best thing we saw last night or since the last episode. And I'm gonna switch to a better content viewing page because I tend to hit the wrong button here. We're getting in the flow of things. But it was Captain Clutch, my God, Jalen Brunson with, well, let's do the broadcast view first, and then we'll do the little fan view. I mean, for those that didn't watch this game last night, we'll get into it, but Jalen Brunson put the team on his back in the fourth quarter. We're going to mute that because YouTube isn't really great with copyright. But this shot right here just solidified how good Jalen Brunson absolutely is. And, I mean, he's talking smack to the fans. The guy, we'll get into it. He got hurt in the first quarter. You know, Knicks fans were on suicide watch after Harrison Barnes ran into his knee. And then here's the courtside angle. I mean, this guy is just elite. So good. I mean, this guy's shorter than me. He's shorter than me, and he's doing this shit. It reminds me so much of Steph Curry. It's unbelievable. But it's like if Steph Curry had elite footwork. Like, Steph was just really good at just, like, getting the shot off. He just, like, fired that thing off, and it was going in. Jalen Brunson is, like, he's so undersized. He's actually smaller than Steph, and he's still, look at his footwork. I mean, it's not even a travel. 90% of the time, this stuff's a travel. It's not even a travel. So shout out Jalen Brunson, man. We had such a good game last night. We'll get into it. The second best thing that I saw last night was just simply this: the Spurs mascot busting out the Uno reverse card on Scott Foster.
It's been determined that the call on the floor has been overturned to an offensive foul on Karl-Anthony Towns for grabbing the arm of Wembyama, which caused the contact.
Now that's good mascotting right there.
This is a successful challenge. We're inside the mandatory
good
window.
Mascotting right there.
They will be able to check.
But now let's get into it. That's just the best thing we saw today. We got here. What we got? Let me see. No, I didn't change that. We go here. But let's get into the actual game. It started off with the Spurs introducing the player introductions with clown music.
Introducing the starting lineup for the visiting Eastern Conference champions, the New York Knicks. 6'5" guard from Villanova, number 3.
It's a bold move.
6'2" guard from Villanova, number 11, Jalen Brunson.
I'm not gonna let the whole thing play, but it started off, I mean, exactly what we wanted. I talked about the Western Conference Finals and it being like a really good series that actually wasn't really that good. Like, it really wasn't. Yeah, game 1 was great. Yeah, the numbers are great. Yeah, everybody watched. Yeah, there was discourse around fucking Shai missing his shot, or sorry, Shai flopping, and there's a lot of discussion around the Western Conference Finals. But if you really pull back the curtain, games 2 through 7, like, we're all basically blowouts. They're over. I mean, game 7 was kind of close, but they're all basically blowouts. So you come into game 1, And I'm hoping, like, please, like, this is a godsend from the ratings gods for the NBA. Like, we got the Spurs, the big French Wembanyama coming in against the New York Knicks, which is probably the most, I don't want to say, it's not like historic franchise, but like the prized franchise, at least amongst celebrities and amongst New Yorkers. And they haven't really won or been very good for the last 30 years. And so you have this incredible matchup. And so we're all hoping, like, is it going to be good? And fuck, it delivered last night so hard. I couldn't, like, I went back and did the extended highlights review because I love the game so much. It was that damn good. Now, don't get me wrong, guys, I got a problem. And that problem is I genuinely cannot go out for Mexican food without ordering a beer the size of a small Chihuahua. Like, I really can't. Like, we went for Mexican food last night. There's an awesome place called La Fiesta, very authentic, hole in the wall place, and they have these beers that are, I'm not even kidding, the size of a small Chihuahua. It's like 34, 40 ounces or something like that. And then of course, they got a deal on them, so I got to get those. And then I crush one of those, and next thing you know, I'm like ready to go out on the town. It's Wednesday night. I'm going to the pub. We're getting pints. The next thing you know, it's midnight, and I'm eating fucking crispy cones ice cream with chocolate drizzling down on my face. Pause. Nutella chocolate. That doesn't sound any better. Anyways, I have a problem here, guys. And so what I'm trying to get at is I was hammered when I first watched this game. And it was on my phone, and like I'm sitting here trying to take notes, but I'm getting drunk with my friends. So I was doing my best, and like the pub that we have here is like a true traditional pub. So at the Mexican restaurant, I watched it on my phone, and on the pub, they got this like tiny little TV. And if you spend any time in the UK and you ever been to like a real pub, they like purposefully have like the shittiest fucking TV in the corner for some reason. Like American bars, it's like how many TVs can we fit in that bitch? But UK pubs, tiny little guy, and that's what we had here last night. Anyways, long-winded way of saying, man, I was hungover this morning. So I rewatched the game to make sure that my notes were on point, and my notes basically boiled down to Jalen Brunson, clutch, Wemby, tired. That was really it. And I went through and rewatched it. And let me tell you, outside of there's a couple other things, like Champagne was really hot in the first half that I kind of I recognized, but I didn't recognize. But we'll get into it. So the game started with obviously the Spurs talking a little smack, basically, the little clown car bullshit. And then it starts off strong. You got, I'm not going to go into each individual play because of copyright bullshit. I can't do it. But basically, the Knicks started really strong. You could tell they had a really good game plan right out the gate. They were getting Brunson involved in off-ball screens, and that was creating a lot of action. That was creating a lot of space for him. He was getting buckets early. And then we have Landry Shamet bumps into Harrison Barnes, which, a lot of people are calling this a flop, but, not just me, but.
Champagny extra pass. Harrison Barnes, a former champion, out to Fox. Fox kicks it. Champagny loves those corner threes. Got another.
Let me rephrase that. That was not a flop. Andrew Shamet is the fuck out of him.
Loves those corner threes. Got another.
And then straight into Jalen Brunson.
After the shot was released.
Now, let me tell you, JB didn't go straight out of the game. He, here's a slow-mo of it.
For the rebound, Robinson couldn't.
Something early to keep your eye on right here. Jalen Brunson
taking
this shot to the knee as he looks up at the rim. You see him immediately grab it. Limping from that point on. Dylan Harper knows it. You're hurting. I'm going to go right at you. The Knicks are...
Shit, I got to do something real quick, guys. Forgot to post topics on the fucking topic board thing. One sec, guys. One sec. Oh, you got to get better at doing this in real time. But it's all right. Retweet that bitch. Bad radio. I know. Listen, I have ADD. If you've been following along and we're only 12 episodes in, people know I got really bad ADD. I'm going to get distracted. If I think of something at a time, I'm going to go do it, all right? I'm going to go do it because I've been taught if you could do something in the rule is if you do something in under 5 minutes and you think of it, you should do it right away. That should be a rule you live by. If you can do something in 5 minutes and you think of it, do it right away. I don't care what you're doing. Stop. Well, it's kind of the ADD motto is stop what you're doing and do what you just thought about. So maybe don't do that. But Anyways, back to the story. Shamit bumps into Harrison Barnes. We see here
knocks into him.
Not the greatest result if you're a Knicks fan, because Jalen Brunson is a tiny little guy.
He looks up at the rim. You see him immediately
and he's hurting right away. And so we got what ended up being the tweet of the night. Shout out Emmanuel Acho for not deleting this. I did screenshot this just in case he deleted it. Shout out community notes also for dunking on Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel Acho tweeted out right after this, 1 quarter into the NBA Finals, Jalen Brunson is affirming the concerns about small guards being able to win it all. Hello, what about Steph Curry? Anyways, the closer you get, the more physical it gets. So far, Brunson's body is betraying him. Well, we'll let the community notes come out and say, despite an early leg injury, Jalen Brunson returned 30 points in 37 minutes as the Knicks won the game 105-95. Yes, also realizing I never said the final score. My bad. So if you're not, we're getting through the game, though. We're getting through the game. And then here's another great tweet. It's got, finals lights are a little too bright for, oh shit, I'm going to get through my topics. 1 sec. Final lights are too bright for these Knicks tonight. That's, well, Ben Stiller with basically the best response you could have in that situation with the ... Skip Bayless just doing the Skip Bayless thing. Just hating for no reason. Now, I wanted to bring up this Reddit thread I came across this morning that really kind of broke it down. And we'll get into the specifics of it. But this Reddit user, that Thonking Bandinto, Thonking Bandinto, what a great name, by the way, Mr. Reddit user, Raptors fan. After Vassell ties it up with 86 with 7:38, my dad and I thought it was a bad call to call that timeout 30-odd seconds before a TV timeout, right? Well, coming back from commercial, we immediately understood why. Brown got Brunson in at the same time as the Wemby Cornet switch. So at the point of this game, Wemby has come out of the game. He's very tired, and from what I understand, what I've picked up during these playoffs, Wemby starts the fourth quarter. He then typically checks out around 8 minutes left. He gets about 2 minutes of rest, and then he checks back in with 6 minutes, and he plays the rest of the game. So what happened here, and for those that don't know, there are set TV timeouts in the playoff schedule. So there's a certain amount of timeouts per quarter or per half that each team will get, or I guess per game, but they're also limited per half. And then there's also predetermined TV timeouts inside, like, basically the quarter marks of the quarter, if that makes sense, right? So like the third marks almost inside the quarter. So this user is talking about, why would Mike Brown call a timeout right before a timeout's about to be given to them, right? So what Mike Brown did is Cornet was coming out during that process, calls the timeout, gets Brunson into the game. Brunson immediately takes Cornet to the basket for 2. Next possession, Brunson's found, gets to the line. Wemby subs for Cornet with 6:52 left, right? So Wemby's rest was cut short. Brown got Brunson into the game. He executes to perfection. He scores basically 4 points immediately. Brunson was incredible. I want to say incredible. He had 30 points on 31 shots. So it wasn't this like overarching. It wasn't like. It was, sorry, I just got a Slack message. Such bad ADD. It wasn't like this overarching like dominant game from Brunson. Like the Spurs definitely made it very tough. Like Sean Sweeney, shout out. Brunson scored 13 of those 30 points in the fourth quarter, and this is like what got him going. So the Wemby got about 46 seconds of game time rest, call it maybe 2 minutes total, and then Brunson's able to gash them during that time. So Brown's timeout does 2 major things: allows Brunson to spark the offense, and more importantly, it puts a rested Brunson in and forces a clearly exhausted Wembanyama to come in on a couple minutes rest, tops. Wemby still hit some shots, yes, and exerted some great defense, yes. But with Cat coming in 2 minutes later, he was better rested, and honestly, Cat was we'll talk about him in a second, was dominant throughout the entire game. So too long didn't read. Mike Bronson's timeout really sparked the Knicks kind of I want to say comeback, but like winning the game. It wasn't even like a comeback. It was just them winning the game. And this is really, I don't want to boil, like there was a lot of back and forth in this game. Like obviously the Spurs started the game very hot. Champagny went 5 or 6 from 3 to start in the first half. They cooled off massively to end the game. So at the end of the game, they were 11 of 42 from 3. So they basically 25%. that's not going to cut it. So obviously, if you're a Spurs fan, not too much to worry about because that's a really poor shooting game. And, if you go watch the tape, go watch the extended highlights, a lot of missed shots, a lot of missed open shots, right? But going back to this game-winning decision by Mike Brown, and, I have friends ask me all the time, like, because I was very adamant against Jamal Mosley. And not that I have anything against Jamal Mosley. He's a great coach for developmental teams. But there are very key differences between like good coaches and great coaches, and then obviously legendary coaches. But just we're looking between good and great here, and the difference between good and great here is it can fundamentally win game ones of series and win series for you, right? So Mike Brown coming in and forcing these switches, forcing this change of tactic and getting Wemby back into the game forces Wemby to be a bit, again, more tired going into this thing. And here you go. Wemby, this is one of, there's a couple buckets in between, but this kind of encapsulates what the Reddit user was talking about.
Wemby drives on Towns, gets inside.
Tough shot.
Side of the backboard, gets it back again. Spins, goes up top to Harper. Shot
Pretty
clock at 7.
Is it turnover here?
Kicks it out in the corner.
Right, he completely misses.
Wemby, top of the backboard. 11 rebounds from Wembanyama. He'll bring it up the floor. Wemby drives. The shot is up. Missed it. Champagnie had it. Wemby, under a minute to play. Dribbles it off his foot.
Spurs needed 3.
Like, these are all
Wemby for 3.
short. Like, these are all tired man. Like, anybody that plays basketball knows these are tired man fucking things that are happening. Right?
Drives, the shot is up, missed it. Champagnie had it. Wemby,
dribble it off his foot, and then the key one right here, just off the front of the rim. So shout out Mike Brown. He really, I don't, again, not to like encapsulate the entire game into a timeout with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but go pull up the extended highlights and watch the last 7 minutes, and you tell me if Wemby doesn't look fucking exhausted. Now, he had some buckets, he had some blocks, he had a big 3, I think, in between all of that. But in a game of thin margins, this obviously made a huge difference, right? So we just saw that. But this was Wemby post game. He's obviously pretty well aware. Like, it's not like he had this like horrible game, right? He had 26 and 12, but it was on 6 of 21 shooting, so pretty bad efficiency. Kind of bad turnovers late to seal the game. And honestly, the Knicks defense was just so impressive. Like, it wasn't like I don't know if it's Mike Brown drawing this up or if he has an assistant specifically. I'm sure a Knicks fan could tell me. Man, I really got to get better at hitting my fucking next button thing. We have, did Wemby get exposed here? And we'll get into that in a second. But you really got to see a masterclass of tactical defense from the Knicks yesterday. They had Cat on him at one point. They had OG as his primary defender, and they were also switching Mitchell Robinson with his broken hand in at times. It was really like a group effort to try and stifle him and make it really hard on him. And you could kind of tell that just as the game went on, that they like this, it's not like OKC didn't try and rough them up either. They obviously did in different ways. But I think there's a size and strength that the Knicks have with OG and Mikal Bridges and even like Josh Hart and, like even going to Brunson. There's plays last night where Brunson was just checking Wemby, off ball. And it was just like, they had this, let's keep bumping. It's almost like they did the Steph Curry thing, right? Where like for the longest time when Steph was dominating in this league, the tactical defense to him was just like rip him apart. Like he would have like scratches and he had scars on his elbows and shit because people would just hold on to him and grab him and hit him. And the goal was to like wear him down. Now, Steph Curry's a fucking badass, and he's probably in better shape than 99% of the league. And so he would outrun everybody every season, and that's what made him so fucking good. But it was like they went with the, hey, like, let's beat him up. Like, let's get him get his shots off, but it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna hurt, and he's gonna sit in the fucking ice tub after this, and he's gonna remember our fucking 6'1" point guard hitting his ass. Like, anyways, this is Wemby post game.
No, of course not. I agree with the coach, and I mean it's the same. Every team guards differently, you know. I'm gonna figure it out. It's yeah. I mean, I was bad tonight. It's not more complicated than that.
Tell you what, I'm sure he's sitting there being like, why the fuck was I crying after the Western Conference Finals? Oh my God, everybody's right. So, I mean, Kendrick Perkins went on today on one of those stupid shows on ESPN and basically said that Wemby got exposed. You know, we talked about this in the pre-show. We thought OG, well, the numbers behind anybody that actually looked at fucking data could see that OG is probably the best defender in the league on Wemby. And so, obviously, somebody with a lot of size, quickness, and strength is going to match up well. No, not match up well, because I don't think many people actually match up well, but OG is a very unique tangibles that make him a good fit for this matchup. And so, did he get exposed? I don't think that's... I'm going to say yes, because we're an anti-Wemby podcast. We don't like the Spurs. We're an Arsenal fans. We do not like the Spurs. So we're going to say Wemby got his ass exposed. Send your ass packing, boy. You better get ready for Cancun. Pack the sunscreen. Pack the face towels and the cucumbers for the eyes, because you better get ready, buddy. No, I'm just kidding. I think the Spurs, obviously, we'll talk about game 2 in a second, but the Spurs, obviously, I think are going to bounce back. I think Sean Sweeney will have a better understanding of how they want to approach things defensively. No, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so I think you're gonna see. I think tomorrow night is the game, but what else we got here? Karl-Anthony Towns, man, these playoffs, Cat 17, 5, and 10 on 56% field goal percentage, shooting above 46% on 3 attempts per game from 3. I mean, he's really like this Reddit user said, that he's really taken the lead during these playoffs, and he's been absolutely vital, shooting 56, 47, 90 splits on 70% true shooting percentage. And then you got this really heartfelt message from Kat last night, post game.
You guys have played 4 games in about 20-something days, 23 days. Yeah. And now you go from the conference finals to the NBA finals. Yeah. What was the difference in terms of intensity, effort, things that even possibly surprised you about game 1 and being in your first NBA final?
To be honest with y'all, I don't want to sound sugarcoating or anything like that, but Shaq, you would know what I'm saying. I don't know what it was, but I just felt a calm and a peace that, I don't know, had to come from the woman above. So I felt really confident about today. I felt good. You know, I felt like a kid. It felt like it was just fun out here. This is something that as a kid you always dream about. You always hope that you just hope to be an NBA player, let alone to be in the NBA finals. And all day it was just a weird feeling. It felt like I was a kid getting ready to go play my Saturday AAU games and Sunday AAU games. And in a way, I felt like I was seeing her in the stands, and it was fun. It was really fun, and it was really comforting, because, you know, game 1 of the NBA Finals, you're told how the pressure is going to be and everything is, and I don't know. It felt like a certain presence was here that was very comforting and very loving, and I felt like I could have fun out here in game 1 of the NBA Finals, which is the weirdest thing, because you would expect to have the pressure at the highest.
You guys have played.
I mean, look, guys, that's awesome. That's all I'll say. Cat he gets a lot of like slack on the internet, and, you know, look, anybody that's lost a parent knows that shit can be really tough, but also sports can be kind of magical in that regard. Like, you know, for those that don't know, I lost my father last year, and, you know, Arsenal winning the championship a couple weeks back made me very emotional, and it was just all related to that, right? And, you know, sports, it's crazy how sports can bring us all together. It can make people just do incredible things, man. And so shout out Kat. You know, this show is meant to be satire and silly hee-hees and ha-has, but when something like that comes up, you know, and it blows up in the way that it did, and it's so heartfelt and so genuine, like I can't help but talk about it. I got it. Especially when it's just when he's playing so well, and it's, you know, and for those that don't know, Kat's mother passed away during COVID. I think it was August 2020. Obviously, anybody that, like I said, has lost a parent, so it's a really difficult thing to do. And unfortunately, it's a nature of life. It's a nature of the cycle of life that we have to go through. Is that once babies start getting born, parents start unfortunately going away. But you know, shout out to Kat. Shout out to Miss Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't know actually what her actual last name was. I should probably know that. It was Miss Towns. I'll say that. I think that's what it was. But anyways, back to JB. We said this at the start of the show. I mean, this guy, look at the score here. 95-94. 2 minutes left, right? And this was it. This is a 6'1" guy. Was that Vassell or Castle? It's Vassell.
Keeps it alive. Bridges looks back to Brunson.
How tall is Vassell? 6'5". This is a guy 4 inches taller than him, and he's tipping it over him. Getting the ball back.
Bridges looks back to Brunson. Corner three is up.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Jalen Brunson, man, take a fucking bow. Take a bow. And this is, you know, we've started this show with this, but we're going to come back to it. It's that good. Now, look, think about what just happened, what you just saw. They were down 1, right, in this last highlight here. San Antonio hasn't scored. You know who scored this entire time? Jalen Brunson.
Brunson on the drive, spins underneath, puts it up, puts it in. Jalen Brunson.
Give the man his flowers. And then after post game, you had Brunson kind of got into it. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet. It's part of why we do this show. It's because we're gonna actually like really try and report things sarcastically, but also like as factual as we can. Everybody on the internet was thinking that he ran up to Scott Foster and was like yelling at Scott Foster, which, to be fair,
their 7th consecutive road game. And one of the great playoff runs in NBA history is still alive. What a winning streak. Brunson with 30 points.
So Brunson wasn't getting into it with Scott Foster. He was getting into it with a fan. If you actually go back to this shot right here, Brunson, you can tell he's pointing at some fan. I think it's this dude in the pink right here would be my guess. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm an Orlando Magic fan. I have season tickets. I sit on this baseline. If this baseline for the Spurs fans is anything like the Orlando Magic baseline, everything and anything possibly said will be said on this baseline right here. We are talking shit. We are pulling up Wikipedia. We are like every single little thing that you can think of. The girlfriend they cheated on in college, like whatever it is, we'll tell people to keep the bench warm for the starters. Like you're because it's part of it. Like it's part of the home court advantage. It's like, yelling at somebody when they fucking airball, like, hey, shut the fucking window. Like, what is there? Did you catch that breeze? Like, it's part of it. So, and I've seen Jose Alvarado. Actually, Knicks game, Jose Alvarado wasn't really, he's not like my friend, but my friend's friend. Like, Jose Alvarado got in his face, like, post-game and was, like, pissed off, like, about to fight him. So, like, it kind of shows you what goes on this baseline. And I'd imagine the Spurs, probably the same thing. So, you see this guy's probably talking shit.
Brunson on the
drive.
I get it.
Everybody's seen this fucking thing 100 times. I'm going to show it again.
Puts it in. Jalen Brunson does it again. It's a 6-point lead.
It was definitely that guy at the pig for sure. But yeah, the baseline seats next to the bench, the opposing bench. Listen, it's a special type of person because for me, I wanted to sit next to the opposing bench because you get to see the opposing players. I think a lot of fans, you probably want to sit next to the Magic bench. But I also love to yell at the refs, and I love to yell at people. I love to talk a little shit and have a little fun. And so I'm like the archetype of what's in that row of just people that probably shouldn't be that close, but they are that close, and they're like remembering the refs' names and yelling at them and shit. So that's what we do. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun down on the baseline, and I'd imagine that's what was happening here. And hopefully it wasn't anything too bad, because like obviously you can't cross the line, right? You can like talk shit about somebody. You can say, hey, you got a fucking golden doodle back home, like that's the stupidest dog you could ever have or some shit, right? But you can't cross the fucking line, you know? So, and I've been on those seats 4 years. I haven't been kicked out once. Now, granted, fucking friends with the cops and the security guard right next to me. So the times that I did get heated and that, you know, maybe if there's a Heat game I'm thinking of. The Heat game in the NBA Cup this year was just, man, it was fun though. It was true like bad blood though, like really yelling back and forth at each other. And listen, I think I went for Mexican food before that, going back to the whole can't not drink a small large Chihuahua sized beer when I ever go to get Mexican food. I was a little inebriated for that Cup game. Anyways, this is Mike Brown post game. I originally pulled this up because the story this morning was that Jalen Brunson was getting into the ref.
We were all bitching too much at the officials, and I tell you, Rick Brunson was great. He told me to shut the hell up. Sorry, Mom. He told me to shut up, and or be quiet, and he told the rest of the team to be quiet and leave the officials alone. And you know, it was great of him because we were all kind of losing our mind, and I did it. The rest of the guys did it, and
I gotta say, the officiating was really great last night. Like, I really did not feel at any point that the influence was being put on the game by the refs. And that's what you want. You want the refs to step in when they're needed, but the game should feel pretty free flowing through it all, right? And so, anyways, we got our idiot of the week was this fucking dude. I don't even know his name. Not gonna give him the time and name, but me personally, we had a guy run on this court in the middle of I think the fourth or third quarter, I think.
30. Right now, 6-point Knick lead. A fan just ran on the floor.
Okay, so here's my.
Wants to take a selfie. Security quickly lead. A fan just ran on the floor.
Trying to fucking take a selfie with Wemby, which, listen, I can't blame you. I would want to take a picture with an alien too. But I really do think we need, like, in the offseason, like, can we have, like, Myles Garrett just on the sideline, like, ready to go? Like, anytime that this happens, just to light him up. Like, first of all, it wouldn't happen if Myles Garrett was sitting there ready. But no offense to this security guard. But this has got to be NFL hit style. Like, this guy's head should explode. You hit him so hard. Because, first of all, it is a huge security risk to ever let these people on the court. Second of all, this is a huge game, pivotal part of the game. This kid is probably just some fucking TikToker that just thinks he, like, is being cool by doing this when really he's just being the biggest dumbass in the world. But I need some punitive action. Like, he got banned from all the stadiums ever in NBA. This is not enough. Like, this kid, we need NFL hit style. He should be number 1 or 2 on this top Sports Center top 10 from him just getting laid out by a Myles Garrett or Myles Garrett equivalent and his head basically exploding live on TV. One second. Hopefully that's not an emergency phone call, but maybe he doesn't know I'm live. So we're going to hope that he's not live and my brother is not, or he doesn't know I'm live. And my brother is calling me just to chit chat about the World Cup. And it looks like he is. Cool. We're good. But you never know. Listen, our mom has MS. Whenever we get phone calls from family members, we're all just like, oh, geez. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Please don't fall, Mom. Please. Anyways, I love her. But yeah, this is fucking idiot. Yeah. God, you could not be more stupid. Attention on me, it looks like he has saying, oh, my God. Imagine getting banned for life for this, for real. But this kid should have been absolutely lit up. Anyways, let's wrap it up on the game one talk. You know, if you're a Knicks fan, I'm sure you probably enjoyed these last 30 minutes. 12 straight wins for the Knickerbockers. That's the longest playoff win streak since the 2017 Warriors, which I think, didn't they win 16 straight? Or maybe it was 15 straight. The 2017 Warriors, I think that might have actually been the best team of all time. 2017 Warriors. It was obviously KD, Steph, KD, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, couldn't miss a fucking midi, Klay Thompson, David West. I mean, Matty Barnes. This team was unfreaking believable. 67 and 15. I mean, 115 points per game. I mean, they didn't even really need to try. Yeah. So 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, and then they lost. So they went 12 straight, and then I think they lost game one to Cleveland, and everybody's like, "Ooh, LeBron," and then they this gentleman sweep the fuck out of them. After that, everybody thought, "Oh, LeBron." But the big story that came out of this series was KD won the fucking Finals MVP because what was it, game 3? I want to say game 3, Steph had a bad game. Did my memory serve me correctly? Steph had 26 points. No, maybe it was game 4. There was one game where he was like, yeah, he was just bad. He was bad. 14 points, minus 26. He had 4 turnovers. This was they went up 3-1, and Steph was walking into the locker room like yelling into his shirt, and Andre Iguodala like grabbed him and was like, "Hey, chill the fuck out. Everybody's gonna realize that you're pissed off that you're not winning Finals MVP. So let's pump the brakes, my guy." Yeah, that was that time. I'm a Steph fan, big Steph fan, so I was actually pissed about this too. Anyways, let's talk about a little bit of game 1. Go back to where we were. Shout out Twitter for making this, by the way. They got this little NBA section now. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of it. Let me check something real quick. Hold on, guys. So let me do this real quick, and then we'll get into talking about a bit of a game preview. Yeah, it's still pending. It's all good. So game 2 is going to be tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The adjustments will be interesting to see. I think obviously I'll talk about Sean Sweeney in a sec here, but he is kind of the defensive savant, if you will, and he made some great adjustments against the OKC last series. And I just think you're going to see Wemby play a lot better, would be my guess. I think the real question is, can the Knicks just continue to make Wemby feel uncomfortable? Like, he did not look comfortable at any point last night. And the Knicks, for whatever reason, just can shoot the fucking lights out of the ball. Like, I don't know how he does it, but I swear he's got like the ugliest but also prettiest shot at the same time. But Deuce McBride, the way he's just like every single time, it's the perfect hand snap. Like for shooters, they know you see that snap into the cookie jar type shit. He's hitting every one of those. And it's like, but it's like all the way up here, and it's like the weirdest, ugliest shot, but it goes in every time. And this team can just shoot the rock, and then they got Captain Clutch behind it. I said it in the pre-show on the preview for the finals, and I'll say it again. I think the Knicks get this done in 5. I think you start to see the youth in San Antonio come out. I mean, game 2 is the catalyst, right? If San Antonio can't push this back in game 2, it's over. Like, if they can't win game 2, this actually might be a sweep, straight up, because you're gonna go into New York up 2-0 with the most ravaged fan base that's so desperate for a championship because all the other New York teams have basically sucked for the last decade. And you have celebrities and Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner and her big old booty on the sideline, and it's destined. It's destined for a championship. So not Knicks, Spurs, you guys got to get it done next game. Now, if you're a Spurs fan, what do you have to look for? Well, you're probably not going to go 11 for 42 from 3 again. I would hope so. If you do, you're not going to win this series, and you're going to start looking like the Orlando Magic, and then I really might actually be worried that because Sean Sweeney got hired by the Orlando Magic, all of a sudden the Spurs have forgot how to shoot. So let's hope you guys remember how to shoot tomorrow, just for my sake. By the way, new World Cup swag, USA shirt. We got ADD kicking in, but we got new hats. This hat does not fit my head, though. I got big-ass head problems. I'm going to be walking fucking billboard for the World Cup. I'll get into that in a second. I'm ADD kicking in. But I do think Spurs come back. I think Spurs win game 2. I think this is where you kind of see the refs getting a little involved, too. You might see, OG get into foul trouble a little early or something. Just something that's like a little tiny influence that the ref can have, but flies under the radar, but is a lot bigger, like, underneath. And, like, having OG pick up 2 quick fouls and not being able to play most of the first half is one of those things that they could do that just, like, kind of changes the outlook of the entire game. So I think Spurs come back. I think obviously they even the series here, and then we go into what would be game 3 on Sunday night, which will be a bit of a doozy for sure. And then we will be able to recap that on Tuesday. So I'm thinking coming Tuesday, it's going to be a 2-1 series. I don't know who will be in the lead, but I think 2-1 series to the Knicks. But I could be fucking wrong. I don't know. I've been wrong before. But actually, we've been pretty on point for this whole playoffs. Minus when I said Cleveland, you're done against Detroit. Minus that, and minus the also fact that the day I started this podcast was like the day before the Magic fucking shit the bed and missed like 23 straight shots after being up in Game 6 at home. But anyways, I digress. I was on a cruise. I was not on the sideline yelling at the refs like I should have been. But anyways, let's get into our next topic, and we are going to cover. Is it the right button? Nice. Sean Sweeney and the Orlando Magic have officially announced that he will be the next head coach for the Orlando Magic, or as I would like to say, my Orlando Magic. Now, when the Jamal Mosley news broke, we did a nice little video of it, and credit to us, Sean Sweeney was in our top 3 choices. We loved Mike Honori. We loved Sam Castle. We loved all the assistants. And the main reason we loved the assistants is because if you look at the last 13 champions, they were all come from first-time head coaches. The repeat champions are legends. So Spo, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson. So like guys that obviously are very, very strong in the coaching world. And so you look at the past 20 years, 2 decades of work, and it does seem like the guy that comes in that's a little bit more innovative and new rather than old school is the one that gets them over the line, right? And I've said this multiple times. Jamal Mosley was the Orlando Magic's version of Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson instilled a defensive identity, but underperformed when it came to the playoffs and offensive identity. His offensive identity was give the ball to Steph Curry, he'll figure it out, which, mind you, not the worst strategy, for sure, but they go and hire Steve Kerr, which, by the way, fun full circle moment. Steve Kerr was almost going to go join the Knicks. Does not join the Knicks. Instead, he goes and joins the Warriors. And the rest is history. They win 4 championships. And there's a lot of talk around Giannis being potentially a destination for or Orlando being a destination for Giannis. And I don't buy it. I think this is more of going back. I keep using the Warriors analogy, but it reminds me of them so much. When Steve Kerr first joined the Warriors, they had just lost in the second round of the playoffs. Kevin Love was on the trading block. Sorry, they just lost in the first round of the playoffs. They got to the second round their first year. They lost in the first round of the playoffs. Kevin Love was on the trading block. All the rumors in the ecosystem were basically Kevin Love for Klay Thompson. And Steve Kerr called Klay Thompson, and he goes, hey, I signed this job for the Splash Brothers, not for Kevin Love. No offense to Kevin Love, but I want you on my team. I think your defense, yada, yada, yada. And so I think there's this, there's a lot of similarities to, Giannis as being this guy, and now people are saying we're either going to trade Paulo or Franz. And I just don't think Sean Sweeney took the job basically being like, I'm going to take this job and we're going to go get Giannis for a couple years. I don't see that. I see it more as a Steve Kerr of, I could turn Franz into an all defensive NBA type guy. I see this guy in Paulo who's a killer, and we could turn him into an MVP type candidate. I see this guy like Jalen Suggs, who reminds me of Harper and the young talent that they have in San Antonio. And I think when you look at the potential, you can see why a guy like Sean Sweeney ended up joining the Magic, right? And so for Magic fans, who is this guy? If you don't know anything about him, because to be honest, I didn't know fucking shit about Sean Sweeney until 2 or 3 weeks ago when I realized we're gonna have to learn about some fucking potential coaching hires. But there's a lot of fluff out there, but there's some really good notable inclusions on this guy's history. So the one that sold me on it was Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett basically said some story about or there's some story about people. He told people to shut the fuck up and sit down and listen to Sean Sweeney. Now, that could be just Sean's agent fucking doing a little fluff piece or a little AI slop fluff piece. Who knows? I don't know. But here's some facts for you if you don't want to believe the Kevin Garnett sit down and shut the fuck up. He spent 2021 through 2025 as the lead assistant for the Dallas Mavericks under Jason Kidd. In a lot of ways, a lot of Mavericks fans would attribute a lot of the success in the Kidd era to Sean Sweeney. Actually, Dallas falling off almost coincided perfectly with Sean Sweeney leaving the team. Obviously, there's a big trade in there where they might have sent off their star player, but that's neither here nor there. Prior to that, or after that, he became the associate head coach for the Spurs. He is credited with developing their defense into what they have become today. They've gone from 25th best defense in the league to the first best defense in the league. He is known as being this X's and O's guy. I think even Jason Kidd said during that finals run with Kyrie and Luka, he was drawing up a lot of the plays and some of the timeouts and the ATOs. And so you have this guy who is, and then the last thing, he's known for being a fiery dude, which I think, I really like Jamal. I've met him a few times. He's a nice guy. And I think that actually was his issue, was that he was a nice guy. And he tried to do the buddy thing. And the reality is, we made the Paulo analogy with, back in the day, but Paulo went from Coach K, who will yell at your ass and get on your ass and bench your ass for not doing the right thing, to Mr. Let me be your best friend, which I think works really well when Jamal was in that player development role for Luka. Again, we've talked about it. What the Magic were trying to do was they saw Jamal was involved very heavily early on for Luka, and so they're basically trying to do the 1 + 1 = 2 of let's bring Jamal in to do that for Paulo, which kind of did to some degree, but it waned over time, and obviously their relationship seemed pretty difficult. And so now you get rid of Jamal and you bring in this guy who's really well known as an X's and O's guy. He's really good on defense. He's brought helped bring multiple teams to the finals. So he has a really strong reputation with some big players in the league. And on top of that, he's a fiery dude who will get on your ass for not doing things right. It's a perfect equation for a young, talented NBA team. And for him to come in, I think it's going to do some really great things for this team, and I couldn't. I get it. Every season I couldn't be more excited for the next Magic season. They got me by the balls, but by the way they do that, all right, I get it. I'm a fucking Magic fan, all right, and we've been through the fucking ringer, and I think this is the guy. And listen, I've just seen guys come into organizations in similar ways. Mikel Arteta with Arsenal, Steve Kerr with the Warriors, a team, an organization that's young and hungry and is bringing in a fiery dude to take them over the hump. I just see that. I see it. I see it with the Magic. And if you're a Magic fan, be excited about this guy. Because you might see like this small little fucking dude who knows. But let me tell you, when we come out firing the way that we are, and when we're one of the best defenses in the league next year, and we're also one of the best offenses in the league next year, you'll know who to thank. And it won't be me. It'll be fucking Sean Sweeney. Anyways, let's get into the next topic. We are bouncing over to the NFL. And with that, we have my boy, Caleb Williams, and his finger-painted nails on the cover of Madden, which, I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, all right, so every Bears fan did the same thing. They're like, shit, Madden curse, Madden curse. Everybody thinks, like, the Madden curse is, like, this real fucking thing. It was like a really big thing in like 2010, right? Like Peyton Hillis years and shit. Like that's when we had the Madden curse going on. Pretty sure Patrick Mahomes won MVP after being on the Madden cover, so I think he put that one to bed. But I will say, I guess recently Saquon was last year, right? And he didn't, I guess, like have the best season. And then what was it? Was it McCaffrey the year before? I think so. 2024 Madden cover. Sorry, 25 Madden cover. Wait, 20, yeah, because 26 would have been, yeah, last year. So McCaffrey, how did McCaffrey do in 2025? This is bad stat. Okay. Maybe, what do you play, like fucking 4 games? Anyways. He only had 50 carries that year. So I guess the last 2 years have materialized into... Oh, shit. Did I switch my YouTube video? My bad. Fucking all over the place here. So I would say, like, the Madden curse, like, is not that big of a deal, right? It seems like it's not. I guess the last 2 years has been... So we're due for a non-curse year. But Caleb, he deserved it, man, obviously. Now, I gotta say, like, in the AI enhancement era that we're in, like, this is either, like, the best cover that you can make in the current world or, like, the worst. And I'll explain to you why. It's just, like, it's just a background and a city skyline. That's it. But simplicity is great, right? But he's not even, like, really jumping over the side. Like, I don't know. I think I saw somebody do, like a much better version down here. This is actually hilarious from the Indiana jokes. Anyways, they did a little behind the scenes video of this. I don't know how much of this I want to show just because I don't want to get copyrighted, but we'll do a couple minutes, or at least in a minute.
Hi, how are you? Sorry, left-handed. What's up, everybody? Handshake. How are you?
Left-handed handshake.
Themselves. So anytime I see that, see their expression, see how excited they are to kind of see themselves reflected visually, it's a beautiful thing.
Most of the athletes grew up playing the game, and now that they get to be on the cover of the game, it's not like you're a regular player anymore. He told me he was living the dream, so I told him never wake up.
You go out there, and obviously the main objective and everything is to go out there and win games and win championships, and then the second one for me is to be able to build a legacy, being able to create.
Hell yeah. Listen, I love Caleb Williams. He's the fucking man. I'm the happiest guy ever as a Bears fan. Like, I'm not even kidding. Going back to the whole Pops passing away thing last year, those comebacks, the fucking Packers comeback, like all that, guys, like that shit felt fucking magical. All right, I'm bawling my fucking eyes out. There's moments where like the Bears should never have won any of those games. And honestly, they almost did it against the Rams too. When he threw that touchdown against the Rams, I was like, what is happening? Like, they're actually going to go win the Super Bowl. You know? Like, it really felt like that. It fucking felt like that. Anyways, so let's get into the next topic. Mr. Unlimited. For those that don't know, Russell Wilson did a very funny commercial where he basically called himself Mr. Unlimited, but that's what I'm referencing. Russell Wilson retires after 14 seasons. Immediately goes and gets a job talking about football, like most of these motherfuckers do. I think we saw this coming up when we saw him on Banana Ball, looking like he's 2 donuts away from being a tight end.
Super Bowl champion. Please
welcome. It's a Booger McFarland quote. I mean, he looks actually okay there. I'm thinking of this right here. He just looks a little retired.
Jason Swan fields it between the legs, flip to the alley-oops. Nearly a collision with Russell Wilson at first. A trick play for Swan.
So, I mean, first of all, if you're going out and playing banana ball in the offseason, you're probably not going to be playing real ball in the regular season, right? So shout out Russell Wilson, great career. He announced the retirement yesterday at age 37. He completed his career with 46,000 passing yards, over 350 touchdowns, 10-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion. Played for the Steelers, Giants, Broncos, and Seattle in descending order. At one point, those years in Seattle, he really was the guy. Like, absolutely. He didn't win an MVP, did he? I don't think he did. No, he never won an MVP, but he was damn near it. I'll say that much. He, fantastic career, though, for Mr. Unlimited. I can finally drop him off my fucking dynasty team. He's been an absolute bitch for me for the last 6 years, but it's neither here nor there. Basically, been traded for him, trying to relive those glory days of Seattle, and it really felt like it when he went to Denver, and he was just awful in Denver. I don't even know how. I don't understand how he was so bad in Denver. Like, he had it all set up for him, but anyways. Next topic. The Packers have extended 2 wide receivers this offseason now. Earlier in the year, Jaden Reed for 3 years, $50 million. And just today, 4 hours ago, right before the show, Green Bay backs up the Brinks truck and drops $100 million on Christian Watson of a 4-year deal with a $31 million signing bonus. Now, the best way to think of NFL deals is they're really just 2 years, and go look at the guaranteed money. The odds that this guy actually makes all $100 million are very low. It's probably a 2-year deal, and then they'll trade him for some. They'll do exactly what the Eagles did yesterday with AJ. What we talked about yesterday with AJ Brown, where they'll basically trade him for some draft capital or something and get him off the books. And this signing bonus helps them front load the tax burden, the salary cap burden. And, we'll see what the next 2 years look like. Green Bay could really, this next year is a make or break year for Green Bay. And Josh Jacobs, obviously, you have Micah Parsons is going to come back late. You have Josh Jacobs, who knows what's going to go on with him. He's going to be your classic fantasy football. Who's going to draft him? Because is he going to go to jail? Is he not going to go to jail? Nobody knows. So you're going to have all this turmoil and this negative shit with Josh Jacobs, and then Micah Parsons not playing, and then a lot of pressure on Jordan Love to perform, and now $100 million on Christian Watson. If they have a bad season, do they look to move on from J Love? maybe. I mean, if Caleb comes out and really continues to dominate and it's like resetting the standard and they go and beat the Pack twice in a row, you know, I could see them going through like hey, we need to kind of re-envision what we're looking to do. But I don't know. But shout out Christian Watson, 100 milli. It's always pretty good. It's never a bad thing. Anyways, let's get into some footy talk. Oops, sorry. Seven days, guys. 7 days until the best sports event in the world kicks off. I get chills thinking about it. It's 7 days. We are a week away from the World Cup. We've waited all this time. If you don't get hyped just watching these fucking clips, I got nothing for you. So as we get closer to the World Cup, we are a week away. The hope, the delusion, the questionable group stage draws, all of it is going to happen. Now, I'll say this. Well, first of all, I'll say this. We are going to be traveling all World Cup. We will be on the road. We got the streaming backpack. I've hired my brother. I'm bringing my little brother along. We're going to be doing daily shows, recaps, previews of the games that day. We're going to be going and doing in real live person interviews in the fan zones. We're going to be in different cities all across the World Cup. Those cities are Dallas, KC, Toronto, Boston, Miami, Atlanta. We're actually going to spend some time in Europe too. Amsterdam, hopefully the Dutch they'll be right around the round of 32. So hopefully the Dutch make it through the group stage. Get the party with some people in Amsterdam. We'll be in Lisbon as well, and we'll finish things off in New York for the final. It's going to be incredible, guys. Now, people are doing a little bit of math, and they're coming to realize that maybe the group stage might be a little easy to get through. This guy, FPL Zaltan, said, I don't think people are truly grasping just how easy it is to qualify to the knockout stages of the World Cup. 72 games to eliminate 16 teams of the 48. One win out of the 3 is pretty much enough to qualify for the majority of the sides. It's glorified friendlies at this point. Fuck you, FPL Zlatan. Stop trying to ruin my fun. We are still going to have a good time. And honestly, do you want fucking Panama sneaking in over France or some shit? No. Who cares? And look, don't get me wrong, the last World Cup, it wasn't much different. Argentina lost their first game and they won the World fucking Cup. So the group stage is always kind of a bit of a sham. I get the Euros is a little bit harder, right? But the group stage has always been kind of bullshit. We don't play for the group stages. We play for the fucking tournament. So who cares? Chill the fuck out, Mr. FPL Zlatan, and let's just enjoy the fucking footy. But listen, yeah, I get it. We're gonna have some snoozers. We're gonna have some fucking snoozers of some games. We're gonna have some great fucking games. We'll have some great matchups, and we'll talk about it all, and we'll do it all live. So if you want to follow along, please follow, subscribe, whatever the fuck you gotta do. Let's do it, because this is gonna be one of the best events that the U.S. has ever hosted when it comes to sports. And we're 32 years removed from I cannot do math. We are 22 years removed, or 20 years. What is it? It was 1994. 22 years removed from the last time the U.S. hosted, and it's going to be just that fucking great. We are going to Tampa this weekend. We get to see the lads, the England team, play New Zealand. They're doing a tune-up game at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Florida, which is as tune-up as they come, because let me tell you, that's miserable. We're going to be sweating our balls off of that game. And then we got another tune-up game the following week at Wednesday in Orlando. This is before we head out for Dallas, right before the games kick off. And we'll be at that game too, doing in real life interviews. We're actually getting the Queen Majesty herself, Lady Linda, my mother. She will be at the game. It's going to be hot, but we got her a handicap seat. We're going to get her in the wheelchair, and we're going to put a beer in her hand, and I was telling her this is why they've lost. This is why the Euros and the World Cup, this is why they haven't been able to be successful, is because the Queen Majesty herself, Miss Linda, has not seen the boys off, the lads off herself. So she has agreed to it. And mind you, listen, she has MS. You're not supposed to be in like 84 plus degree heat. So she might only be outside for like 5 minutes. Who cares? She's gonna see off the lads, and we're gonna fucking do it live. Or, well, I probably won't be live with her. Actually, you know what? I'll go live, get her on the stream. Why not? I think you guys would love Lady Linda. Anyways, who's your projection? Who's gonna win? I got England and the U.S. in the final. I mean, that's not really what I think it would be, but man, that's my dream. If somehow we have the England-U.S. final, I might have to check my pulse and make sure that it wasn't me that passed away last year. But anyways, I can't fucking wait. And of course, you got Speed, Mr. Acho Speed. Well, let me tell you something. This is apparently his song that he made. I'm a little stay woke on this. I think he was always making a song for FIFA. I think FIFA would be stupid not to contact who is arguably the biggest influencer in the footy game to make a song. And then when you make it this fell in that word a little bit more, because it just doesn't sound like the best. But anyways, he had a stream about this yesterday. This was the whole like my stay woke thing. Like, let me tell you something. Contracts don't go down like this. They do not go down like this, but it is cool.
I'm about to click it. Oh! Oh! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! So, it's on the World Cup album! It's official! Let's go!
I mean, shout out Speed. I mean, listen, I don't know if that's actually how it went down or not. I'd imagine that they actually signed a contract. They made it together, and then he came up with this elaborate announcement, which he's the best in the game for a reason, right? Obviously, he's the fucking man. But I'm hoping that he lets us use his. But I'm gonna try and use his song. We'll see if we get DMCA'd or not. It's too good not to. I was gonna use the Shakira one. The Shakira one was pretty freaking good too, but I'd imagine that will definitely get me DMCA'd. So I don't know. Anyways, FIFA is facing a bit of backlash over the tickets sales. Polymarket Sports announces Justin FIFA has been accused of using unofficial resale platforms to sell low-demand tickets. If lowered prices on its own platform, fans that already paid price could ask for compensation. Let me tell you something. This whole fucking... this whole buying tickets and lottery thing, it did kind of feel like a fucking scam. I'm not going to lie. Like, guys, I bought... I'm not proud of it, but here I'm going to give Sherry some numbers. We got group stage tickets for England. First of all, I felt really bad because my friend won the lottery, and he was like, hey, Tom, I know you're a big World Cup guy. I know you want to go. Like, you should have... I got 41 tickets in my allotment of this lottery. Like, you should take some. So I'm like, dude, fuck yeah. Give me 4 tickets to all the group games for England, thinking that's only going to be 12 tickets, and he's got 30 other tickets to do. Well, we go and we buy the England tickets first, and for some reason, the England tickets are like valued at 3 or 4 tickets a pop. And so I ended up taking this guy's whole allocation. So we worked it out. Like, I'm getting him tickets to other games and shit, and I felt really bad. But it's a long-winded way of saying I then go and spent $21,000, 20 G's, on 4 tickets to 3 games. So if anybody's doing the fucking math there, it's about 2 G's a fucking ticket. And let me tell you, we got the best tier 1 at that time. And I just got my tickets for the first game in Dallas and AT&T Stadium. I'm in the 300 level. I paid like $1,700 for a 300 level ticket. I'm not complaining because I'm so happy to be going anyways. And like, I budgeted for this and I've made this my job now. And so it's a write-off and all these things. And obviously I'm very blessed with the app love and stuff. And, but man, I do feel people got me a little bit there. They got my ass. I mean, to be credit though, like, we are dead center, like the middle of the touch line, right? So it's like in footy, man, they why did they remove my content again? YouTube hates my shit, dude. I'm not I swear to God, if I get another fucking takedown for me, there's no, oh my God, it's because I said fucking Polymarket. It literally is because I said Polymarket 2 seconds ago. Oh my gosh. We just got taken down on YouTube for talking about fucking Polymarket, even though I'm not even advertising Polymarket or any of this shit. They're so sensitive with this stuff, guys. Anyways, it felt like FIFA scammed my ass, but I'm excited. I can't fucking wait anyway. I don't really care. Take my fucking money. Because the reality is with footy, you don't really, it's different. It's not like the NBA where you want to be on the hardwood. The closer you are with footy, the worse. You kind of want to be like up above on the center touch line. You get a really good view. So I'm not really complaining, but there are some people online complaining about it. That's crazy. I still can't believe my shit got taken down like that. That was so rapid. Anyways, Enrique Riquelme is in a bit of controversy. He's suggesting that Erling Haaland is going to go to Real Madrid. He said, I've spoken to Erling Haaland directly, and I've spoken with his inner circle. He will join Madrid if I'm elected Sunday. Is this guy a fucking politician? Hold on. I should have done more research on who this actual guy is. Cox Energy, renewable energy. Hold on. Bad radio, I know. Yep, I don't. Okay, so he's a Real Madrid presidential candidate, so I guess that is kind of political to some degree, but we're gonna go through our gray area here of no politics and say, he said, I've spoken to Erling Haaland directly and spoken with his inner circle. He will join Madrid if I'm elected on Sunday. His agent, I don't know her personally. Good start. And people in my circle do. Denial, it's normal. It's an election. There are 2 candidates. No one is guaranteed to win, and they have to protect the player. It seems normal to me. Remember the Figo case? Figo himself said in all media outlets that he wasn't coming. I understand this. I take it personally. I don't take it personally. It takes a part of the world of sports, the world of football, and it's totally fine. So, this guy's out here just fucking making guarantees without guarantees. I think the funniest part about this whole thing is him saying that he doesn't know his agent personally. But he spoke to Erling Haaland. Now, Man City responds with threatening legal action after Real Madrid presidential candidate Enrique Riquelme promised to sign Erling Haaland if he's elected. Pretty fair. I think if I was Man City, if I was a Man City fan, and if I was a Real Madrid fan, I think this is kind of a bullshit thing. This guy can't be saying he's guaranteed to come. Like, he's just trying to lie his way into the election, which I'm not going to get political, but I guess that's kind of par for the course these days. That's the only joke I'll make. No politics, no politics. Anyways, let's get into some Arsenal coverage. There we go. I broke my in-ear monitors today. My left one doesn't work anymore. Fucking apparently Shure is supposed to be the best one out there, and they sure aren't for me. All right. Enough laughing at my own fucking stupid jokes. So Fabrizio Romano I got a bone to pick with Fabrizio Romano. All right. And for those that don't know who Fabrizio Romano is, he is the Shams, the Woj, the Adam Schefter of footy. And this motherfucker posted the other day on his Twitter that Arsenal I have an update on Arsenal, and we're going to talk about it, or something along those lines. And he had a link to a YouTube video. It was 30 minutes long, and I sat there and I watched it on 1.5x speed, still watched it, and he didn't mention Arsenal one fucking time. So fuck you, Fabrizio Romano. I'm on to your shit. There was nothing about Arsenal in that chat. So for those that did watch that video and were pissed off like me, I'm going to do an Arsenal update for you guys. Here's the update. Not much has changed. I'm going to tell you, not much has changed, all right? A lot of these guys are going to the World Cup. You got Anthony Gordon is basically the only deal that's gone through, but we like to speculate here. So Jeremy Monga, apparently Arteta is a big fan of his. Go watch some YouTube videos on him. You'd probably get excited. Morgan Rogers, again, he's out in Miami right now with the English team. Probably not going to see anything from him before the World Cup or during. That'd probably be an after type thing. Tonali from Newcastle, Barcola from PSG, and Krupi. Krupi's who I want the most, to be honest. I get it. He's more of like an attacking central mid. But I mean, he won us the league a lot of ways. And I love Ethan Nwaneri. He is a stud. And I think these guys have very similar skill sets. They're both left-footed, right? But Krupi, he has something about him that I think in the Prem, there's this like swagger times speed times strength. And he has all of it. He has swagger, he's quick, and he's strong, and he's like tactical. And so I just, in the Martin Odegaard Swan Song season, because I think that's what it will kind of be like, and he'll probably get sold after next season or something like that. I would love to introduce Krupi and just kind of really rotate the players more this season. Like we got the championship now. Now let's rotate in the Prem. Like, let's not have Declan Rice play every minute. Let's not have Zubimendi play I know he didn't play towards the end, but, you know, he up until that Fulham game, he basically played every single minute. And actually, he didn't start every game, did he? No, he played in every single game this season. So, and if you look at the minutes, it was obvious. Like, the guy was worn out by the time he got to the end of the season, and it was showing in his play. But, you know, I'm excited. Obviously, you got other news like Ricardo Calafiori is being reported a target of Real Madrid. You got Saliba reportedly probably not going to play in the World Cup because he's dealing with such a bad back injury, which is crazy to think about. That he kind of got kneed in the back in a game about a month and a half ago, and he just played through it. So shout out him. But I mean, I think next season is going to be a lot of fun. For no Pep in the Premier League anymore. You're just going to have, oh shit, 420. Happy 420 to anybody out there celebrating. I would be celebrating if I wasn't on a live show that was on content platforms that banned me immediately for talking about anything related to gambling or drugs or anything shit like that. But I shall celebrate with you just after this stream. I will tell you that much. Anyways, let's get into the front page. Wrong button. There we go. We have two This Is Not Concerning of the week. Instagram AI chatbot tricked by hackers to give others accounts. Not only was it others' accounts, it was celebrities' accounts. So Instagram says it has resolved an issue which hackers tricked its AI support tool into giving them access to other users' accounts. According to the claims shown in screenshots and videos shared on social media, Instagram's AI chatbot allowed users to hijack accounts in recent days. Hackers could reportedly change passwords for other accounts by faking their location and asking the AI to change the emails associated with them. The issue has been resolved, and we are securing impacted accounts, Meta spokesperson Andy Stone said. In response to another X post, Stone claims the vulnerability was used to hack into accounts of world leaders were totally false. Tech news outlet 404 Media reported that posts about the vulnerability coincided with a very series of high-profile Instagram account takeovers, including verified accounts used by Barack Obama when he was in the White House. The former U.S. president's account reportedly posted pro-Iran content before. All right, we're getting into politics, and I do not handle politics. Anyways, this is just the latest story in the AI taking your job world, is that hackers are going to use AI to also steal shit from you too. So, again, this is not concerning of the week. Don't worry, nothing to see here. Moving along. Additionally, Jesus Christ, no thanks. Amazon develops a warehouse robot that workers can speak to. So, I guess the only question that you can't ask it is, how quick are you taking my job? Because that's more or less what this robot is doing. So Amazon has announced a new version of its fully autonomous warehouse robot, Proteus that will interact with using language instead of code. The expanded capabilities come as part of the growing pivot toward automation as the e-commerce giant replaces its human workers with robots. At least they're just coming out and saying it honestly. The reality is, if you're working in an Amazon warehouse and you're like picking up packages and moving it to like a side over here and then putting tape on it or some shit, you got to start looking for a new job, my guy. You're going to be replaced. Most blue collar work, warehouse work, like, guys, this shit. I mean, go pull up some YouTube videos on the Chinese automation, warehouse automation. Like the AI, they have like little rollers going around and sorting shit at like 100 miles per hour. There's nothing. The only thing you can do is become an expert. Go, if you're the guy in the warehouse that's moving the box, figure out how to find a fucking robot that moves that box for you, and then go show your boss. That's how you'll keep your job. For real. Like, actually. So, it's a little concerning, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll put it in this is not concerning of the week. Amazon warehouse owners or workers, you're on the hot seat. We'll say that. I'll say that. Microsoft builds the ultimate MacBook Pro competitor with the NVIDIA-powered Surface Laptop Ultra. Yes, that is true. Microsoft is still trying to get us to buy their shitty Surfaces. And don't worry, if in case you guys didn't see them enough, I'm sure they'll be on the sideline. So they'll be on the sidelines of NFL games. But shout out Microsoft doing their best to try and make it so the only reason we talk about Surfaces aren't just during replay reviews of the NFL games. They're trying to be competitive. So they dropped this bombshell at Computex 2026. They announced the Surface Laptop Ultra and a direct response to the MacBook Pro. Let's see if we can find some specs. Surface Laptop Pro Ultra NIX brings 128 gigabyte unified memory and mini LED display. I mean, let's see. Processor, 20-core NVIDIA Grace CPU. Graphics, NVIDIA Blackwell RTX GPU. System architecture, 128 gigs of RAM. There's a AI compute component. Cooling, prominent dual fan. Look, guys. Microsoft, stick the fucking software. What are you guys doing? Stick the fucking software, all right? Next topic. Alphabet set the plan to raise $80 billion from stock sales to fund the AI build out. This is coming off the heels of them giving Anthropic $40 billion. I gotta say, if you're on the Gemini team, you probably should try looking for a new job, possibly. I mean, I don't know. If you're working in AI, I don't think you're really in that bad of a spot. You'll be able to find a pivot really quickly. But we made the joke when it happened. You know, it's not the best thing in the world to have, you know, it's not the best thing in the world to be building a product and then have your parent company go and put a shit ton of money into a direct competitor. But, you know, who am I to say? It feels really bad. But Alphabet said it plans to sell $80 billion in stock, including $10 billion investment by Berkshire Hathaway. Google's parent company said the capital will fund investments in world-class AI compute infrastructure to meet its unprecedented customer demand. In April, Alphabet updated its full-year capital expenditure range to as much as $190 billion. This is just an absolute arms race because everybody thinks for some reason that every job will be replaced by AI and that revenue will go directly to whoever's replacing those people or those workers with AI. I do think that will happen to some degree, but I think with increased technology and your ability to hold on, let me share this real quick just because I just saw it come through. I forgot what I was talking about. Let's go to the next topic. I knew what I was talking about. I was talking about Google and AI, but there's only so much I can talk about when it comes to fucking AI and all this shit. I tend to bash people that don't like AI, and then but I don't want to like reap what I sow in a little bit and then actually be replaced by AI. So like I tend to go down that route. Like, you guys are fucking stupid. We're being so worried, yada yada yada. And then like, you know, like a fucking super version of Joe Rogan hacks the internet and takes over all our fucking lives. I don't know. So I always just gotta pump the brakes. But anyways, the next story we have here is a shocking trademark suit where Patagonia sues drag queen Patagonia for trademark infringement. The story reads, Patagonia has launched a trademark lawsuit against an environmentalist drag queen named Patagonia, who has accused the outdoor clothing company of trying to erase an activist, Win Wiley, who performs as Patagonia. Which, by the way, I mean, I'm a sucker for a good pun. She should be able to do this shit just from the pun being that good. Like, Patagonia, come on, guys. Who thinks of that? That's too good. So Win Wiley, I don't know, because there's a joke in there where I'm going to say her last name probably should be Willie, but it's neither here nor there. Win Willie, who performs as Patagonia, has accumulated millions of followers online for their environmental activism. Not going to fall for that one. She is there. Their environmental activism, raising almost $4 million for nonprofits so far. That's fucking incredible. Last year they raised $1 million while hiking 100 miles in full drag. That is also fucking incredible. Holy shit. 100 miles? Was she in heels? Or were they in heels? I knew I was going to fuck up. Were they in heels? From Point Reyes National Seashore to San Francisco. So this is in hilly elevation too. It's not just, 100 miles in Florida is 100 miles in Florida, but I guess 100 miles in Florida is probably going to feel a lot longer because of the humidity. But anyways, Patagonia, which takes its name from an enormous, how are you going to sue? It is a good point. How are you going to sue somebody for trademark when you stole your name from a fucking mountain? Patagonia, which takes its name from an enormous geographical region, or I guess not mountain, geographical region, spanning Argentina and Chile, filed its trademark infringement lawsuit against Willie on January 21st. The suit was filed to the federal courts of Los Angeles. The company, which is suing Willie for a nominal $1 in damages. Okay, hold up. Stay woke on this one. They're suing somebody for $1. Said it took action after Willie filed a trademark application in September to use the brand Patagonia to sell clothing or promote environmental activism, which claims it would be irreparably harm its brand. While we wish we didn't have to do this and actively engaged with Patty for several years to avoid this, it has become necessary to protect the brand that we've spent for the last 50 years building. So as much as I wanted to jump all over Patagonia here, it does sound like that they were trying their best. We want Patty to have a long, successful career and make progress on the issues that matter, but in ways that respect Patagonia's intellectual property. So yeah, listen, if Willie Wiley or whatever her name was selling Patagucci under their name, then she's kind of crossing a bridge there that you can't really. But shout out Patagonia. She 1.8 million followers, 3.7 million raised from nonprofits. That's that type of shit we do like. That's that type of shit we do like. Anyways, we're wrapping things up. Comcast is set to invest $6 billion in the Universal UK theme park. That's right. If your internet wasn't shitty enough, it's not going to get any better because they have decided that they want to spend their money on the British. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think that the UK has the weather to support a theme park, but I'm not in the theme parks division of Universal, and it's not my decision to make. But Comcast will invest a total of £6 billion, which is $8.1 billion, in its Universal theme park coming to the United Kingdom. Obviously, this is kind of off the heels of Disney dominating in their theme park world, and they've obviously continued to develop IP, and that's done really well. But this investment in the media giant's first European theme park, which will be known as Universal United Kingdom Resort, will include over $5 billion, $6.7 billion that will be put in during the expected 5-year construction. The company will put an additional $1.3 billion in capital investment over the next 10 years of operation. Meanwhile, the UK government will invest $1.75 billion on regional and local community infrastructure to ensure the park can operate successfully with improved transport links for local residents and visitors across the UK and abroad. That includes $400 million grant through the Regional Growth Fund and an additional $438 million grant through the Department of Culture. So shout out whoever at Universal got them $1 billion basically to support their infrastructure. Can we go hire that dude to go work for the fucking Chicago Bears? God damn. Like, again, we don't do politics here, but the Bears are trying to build a stadium and like they're trying to build it themselves, but there's some infrastructure that needs to be done and the city won't do it, and it's a pain in the ass. But anyways, I'm excited for this. I'm a parks guy. We got the Disney pass holders. We live in Orlando. We love the parks, so I'm all for it. And I'll definitely go to this shit. Obviously, my fucking little brother and my cousin live in London, and is it gonna be in London? That's the real question. What's it called again? It's called the Universal United Kingdom Resort. Let's see. I don't think it's good. There's no way it's going to be in London, right? Bedford. Where the fuck is Bedford? Where is Bedford? Okay, it's like outside of London. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's wrap up the show. We got one last topic to get through, and I want it to be a full screen feature, so we're gonna do this. For those that do not know, Backyard Baseball is back, everybody, and it is coming out July 9th. Now, listen, whoever's on the game development team, probably kind of dropped the ball on dropping this on July 9th. Everybody's going to be talking about World Cup. Like, this is really poor timing on their part. They should have dropped this either on opening day or like in the middle of the World Series or some shit, and people would have been off on it. Like September, like I get summer is a good time to drop games too because kids are off school, so maybe I'm wrong in that aspect. But anyways, I haven't even watched this trailer, but let's watch it together. Hold up, make sure this. And for those who don't know, Backyard Baseball, it's a classic PC game. Any baseball player growing up in the 90s, like I did, played this shit. It featured basically these kids and their like own little baseball league. It was the best game. And Pablo Sanchez was the main character, the guy at the plate. And he is the fucking man. I can hear my dog crying. Anyways, I'm very excited for that, but my dog is crying. It sounds like he's like stuck outside or something. So I'm gonna have to wrap up the show here. But guys, I appreciate the time. Let me switch over to a little content thing. Hold up, who the fuck? Hold on, Josh Hart. What the fuck you saying here, bitch?
Arsenal is not humble because have they ever won the Champions League? How long have they been around?
Fuck you, Josh Hart.
Okay.
Fuck you, Josh.
London's blue, never red. Up the Chelsea.
Fuck you, Josh Hart. We had a great show today, guys. I appreciate everybody coming out. Like I said, we got World Cup content coming at you quick. We're going to be in Tampa this weekend. We'll be watching the lads. We'll be having the Queen Majesty herself, Linda, seeing off the lads next week in Orlando. And next week, we're going to be debuting some cool shit. So the new World Cup scene, the World Cup intro. We'll do a full preview after we recap the NBA Finals. But yeah, guys, things are moving quick here. We're doing it. We're fucking doing it, Smalls. All right, y'all. I'm going to take off. Appreciate the time. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 3 o'clock. Peace out, y'all. I hit that too early. Got him.
Hey, see, I'm back on my bullshit. Came a long way from school, bitch. We them niggas been banging and walking with full clips. Pocket filled with them blue strips. All I hang with the silent, can't fuck with no loose lips. If he rat, cut him loose quick. If a fuck nigga try, bet his ass make the news quick. Hit his ass with these blue tips. But these niggas won't shoot shit. Cause these peons ain't stepping how my niggas stepping. Walk them down, but that